Well, hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to this week's Beautifully Whole episode. I am your host, LeeAnne Hayden, coming to you from the loft. Now, I just got back from being in Nashville. I was in Nashville from, Saturday through Wednesday. I went to go to a company event, a company that I am partnered with. I went to their annual event, and guys, you know I love everything about longevity and about health and wellness, and I've been really honest about has been going on in my own life for a while now. So I went to this event and it was absolutely amazing, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it today. So stay tuned for this because we're going to have a little bit of science, some answers, a little invitation, and just kind of some things that I felt and thought as I was going through this whole week. So one, I had never been to Nashville before, so it's about time. I travel all over the place, but I've never been to Nashville. And so heading into this event, being partnered with this company, I absolutely love this company. However, John and I have been talking a lot lately about work, right? And so he had said to me a couple months ago, and he has retired and he wanted to join me in my business, which is amazing and great. I think those of you who are married and running a business with your husband, you know what I mean. You have those ups, you have those downs, but he has decided that he does need to go back to work. He wants to go back to work. He has been in software sales for a very long time, that enterprise sale, large sale, and his brain needs that, which is fantastic. However, he also wants to be involved in what I'm doing. And so we went to this event, and going out there, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a couple of days of play, and then we're gonna have sit through this conference, and we'll see what we bring out of it together as a couple. And even for myself, I wasn't questioning what I was doing with this specific company because I do believe in it, but I started to say, do I need to be doing something more, right? I have the podcast. We just relaunched it, which is amazing. I am partnered as an affiliate with this company. I do have a partnership with Hollister that I've had for a while, and some of that stuff has slowed down. So now I'm like, do I need to go get a job? So I started to think about that, and I really love my freedom, and everything I've always done from earning an income has come from that freedom. So I went thinking, let's go in here and see if I can truly build a business around this company the way that I have in the past, but even better, because this is what I've done since 2011. Since 2011, I've basically worked for myself and built these businesses. So I went to say, all right, do I have it in me to do it again? Because I really, really want to, but I think I just needed another little extra push. You know, sometimes you're like, I don't know, maybe yes. Anyways, so I went questioning. I came out of it absolutely answered. I know my direction. I know where I'm going. I know the direction I'm taking with this. How's that? I knew I was always going to do it. I just didn't know the direction I was going to take it in. So I'm doing that. I have a whole bunch of notes here too. So if you're watching me on the video, you're going to see me look down on my paper because I'm just like, I don't want to forget to tell these guys something, because I learned so much about. I know I have taken courses and I have been certified as a holistic health coach, a holistic nutritionist, all the health things, right? I've coached fitness competitors back in the day. I health coached people back in the day. And you guys know the whole cancer ostomy journey as well that I have been on. And it's even funny because when I had cancer, the doctor said, you have the best blood work we've ever seen for a cancer patient, right? Or seen in general. So I've always been into this health nutrition type thing, and it's always been part in my DNA. And I don't know really where I was going with that. However, it has always just been a part of me. So taking all of that and putting it into this. So we get to Nashville. Let me tell you just a little bit, because for my ostomy friends, you'll understand this because this is something I had to get over. We went to this, so we go out the first day. It's Nashville. It's hot. There's people everywhere, but the bars are fun. There's a lot of bars, a lot of drinking, a lot of music playing. I have a couple of drinks, not a big deal because I don't really drink anymore, but had a couple of drinks. And that night, and peace is an ostomy story. So that night I go to bed. Now, my my stomach has been a little different. I did start on a peptide, which is great. And usually when you start on certain peptides, they can slow down your digestive tract. Well, this is doing the opposite to me, which I actually like because it's helping me with blockages. Now, again, my experience, go see your doctor, talk to your doctor if you're considering this stuff, right? Because my doctor gave me permission. She said, we just need to watch it because I watch my body. Anyhow, long story short, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and those of you who know, I had a complete blowout with my ostomy, 4 o'clock in the morning in a hotel room. And it was all over me. It was on the sheets. It even somehow got on the comforter cover. I don't know how it did that. So I went in the shower, I showered off, I cleaned everything up. I came in and told John, you got to get up because we had to take these sheets off. Didn't get anywhere else. But it was one of those things that it could have, and if you have an ostomy, you know this, it can be a huge setback, right? Like, it's like, what is going on? Like, why did I have this blowout? But I knew for myself, I kind of had a feeling I should have probably changed my flange at that point. I was starting to have this certain smell. So when I'm wearing my flanges, the Hollister flanges with the Cereplus, sometimes when they get wet or too sweaty or something, there's a certain scent that I can smell. Again, I've used them for over 10 years, and this has never happened. Well, it happened once when I was in Italy in a hotel, but never to this extent. So anyways, I had a feeling I should have changed it at that point, but I didn't listen to myself. So anyways, long story short, that happens. Thank God John loves me. Right? Because he was just like, okay, honey, let's get up. And we just got up, cleaned the sheets, changed everything over, and put a little note for the cleaning lady with the $20 tip. Apologies. They came in, remade the bed the next day, and everything was fine. I just had to put that little what happened into this story because you guys know me. I always keep it real with everything, and there always has to be pieces of my ostomy that just show up in these stories, right? So anyways, that happened. So that was Saturday. Sunday, we did spa day, and then we went through Nashville, listened to some more music and everything else, and the bands are fantastic. So if you haven't been to Nashville, you guys, you need to go to Nashville for real. It's so much fun. I say it's like a Vegas without the casinos, with better music and not so much glam. And it was so much fun. I'm like, okay, I was there from Saturday till Wednesday morning. I'm like, I could have, 3 days is good. Thank goodness we had the conference for Monday and Tuesday because I don't think I could have lasted that long. Anyhow, so conference happens on Monday, and before that, Sunday, we went to registration and to pick up our badges. And here's the fun part. So you pick up your badges, and usually on your badges, it says, the rank that you're at and all the things that you did and accomplished for the year. And all these past years, with a couple of other companies that I've been with, I get these badges, and I've always been one of the top ranks in the company and all these things. And, with this company, I've been here for 18 months, and it's slow growing, but it's slow growing because I have not really, like I said the other week, I haven't put 100% of my effort into it, right? Like I have always done. And so, and for the record, I'm now putting 100% effort into this business. So I went and picked up the badges, and when I opened the badges, it had these ribbons that you put on your badge, and one of the ribbons said master coordinator, and then it said had been with the company for 50 plus years, and it had like 70th anniversary, because it was our 70th anniversary, company anniversary, 70th incentive award winner, right? So that one I did get, that one I had earned, but there's no way I'm a master coordinator, because a master coordinator is like the second top to the company, and I think I'm like the third rank, right, from the bottom. I'm still growing it. So I was like, ooh, vision board. The first thing I said to myself, well, first the girl goes, you guys aren't master coordinators, are you? And I said, no, we are not. And so she's like, well, tomorrow you can go and change and get the, what you are. And I was like, okay. So first off, I was like, these badges, these ribbons are going on my vision board that I look at every single day, because this is a rank that I do want. This is something that I do want. And it was almost like in that instant, I had that instant like, oh, this is something I can do. This is something I really, really want. And it wasn't because of the title itself. It's what that title means. Because having a title like that isn't just like income that's coming into your own home, which is fantastic. it really says the amount of lives that you changed to get to that rank. You have to change and help a lot of people in their health, in their finances, in their belief in themselves, in all these different areas, because that's just what the industry is. And so it means you changed a lot of lives. And that's what it meant to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many lives do I want to change? I know I've changed a lot of people's lives when it comes to how do I deal with my ostomy? What do I do? All those things on this podcast in the past, but I've changed lives in finances with other businesses. I've given people that ability to grow into themselves. I've helped people all my life within their health goals and, their fitness goals and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I really am truly that person. Like, that is who I am. I really want to help people get there. So that really sat with me, and I was like, oh, okay, I want this. I want this rank. It's going on my vision board, and that's happening. End of story. So it's there. So come with me on this ride, because it's going to take a few years to get there, but it's going to happen. And so, on some of the guest speakers that they had at this event, one of them was Dr. Arthur Brooks. He teaches at Harvard on happiness, and he wrote a couple of books with Oprah. One of the books was with Oprah. I actually ordered his newest one. It's called The Meaning of Life. And he really talked about the brain, because he does a lot of, he's a scientist too, right? There's so many scientists involved with this company, but he's not involved. He was a guest speaker. So he talked about the brain and how people now are more depressed than they were in the past, aren't as happy, and are more anxious. And he started to do the research as to why. And it is because we are on our phones all the time. They did research, and they looked back on, when did this start to happen? Like, when did people start to be more anxious? When did people start to be more depressed? When did people stop being happy? Like, what was the year? And they literally can put it to the specific date that the iPhone or the phone that we look at every single day was created. And you know what he said? We don't use our brains anymore. We just doom scroll the phones. Everything we're doing is always on a phone. None of it is done to have our parts of our brain, and he really got into specifics. He was on stage for an hour, and we're not going to do that here, but he got into the specifics of how the brain works and the pieces of your brain that aren't being used anymore because we're using our phones. Now, add in AI to all this, and we're never using our brains. So he gave us some recommendations and of what to do, because we are going to use phones. Phones are our lives, and you guys are the same age as me, right? We're not these young kids who have been raised on phones. Heaven help them. But we all know what it's like to sit across from a person and have a conversation, not have phones, during meals. Like, if somebody rang the phone, you had to run and pick it up off the wall, and the cord would only let you go so far. And you're like, I gotta go, mom and dad are listening, right? Because we're sitting next to the kitchen table. Hang it up, call you later. We know all the things in our lives that we have done in the past, and now we don't have that anymore, right? We're always on these phones. So he has some suggestions, and this is what he said. He said that no phones the first hour of the day. Like, no phone the first hour of the day. Now, if you need to check, because listen, what's on here, right? It's like, what time is it? Our alarm clocks are on our phone. Like, everything's on our phone. So he said, or if you're running a major business and you do need to check because you're working with people outside in another country, or there's a reason you need to look at your phone first thing. He said, look at it, put it down, and don't touch it again for an hour. Your first hour is for you to start to get into your day. And the thing that he recommended doing, not bringing your phone, not having your ear pods in, not doing anything. Yeah, go grab your cup of coffee if you need it. Have your water first, because you need to hydrate again, and then go grab your cup of coffee. But he suggested, what he said to do, get up and use that hour and go for a walk. He goes, even if it's dark out still, get up, put on your clothes, go outside, get some fresh air, go for a walk, watch the sunrise. If the sun's already up, now you're gonna get the sun in your eyes first thing in the morning, which is really good for your rhythm, right? So you can get better sleep at night, things like that. What do they call it? I can't say the word. You guys know the word I'm saying. It keeps coming ready to come out as cardiac, but it's not. I can't say it. I don't know why I can't say the word. So menopause brain. All right, that's another thing, ladies. Menopause brain's happening right now to me. So get up. Don't look at your phone. Don't touch your phone for the first hour of the day. Go for a walk. Go let your brain start to think, get creative, create ideas, think about what's going on for your day. All those things, like use your brain and don't start on the phone, because then we end up doom scrolling, or somebody texted us and now we got to get busy right away, and we don't need to do that. So that was the one thing. The second thing he said, no phone during meal times, and have meals with people. Don't eat by yourself. I told John, because he goes out every night, I'm like, I eat by myself pretty much every night. I'm like, I might need to find some people to go and eat with, because I don't want to eat in a restaurant every day. So I might be inviting people to my house, come eat with me. So anyways, he said no phones at mealtime, even if your phone is upside down on the table, right? So face down on the table, it's still on the table, and it's still, it does something to your brain with it sitting there. Leave it in another room, leave it somewhere else, leave it tucked away, and do not use your phone during meal times. So, and then the last thing that he said was, don't use the phone for an hour, the hour before you go to bed. And he suggested leave your phone plugged in somewhere else outside of your bedroom, not even next to your bed, because that way you're guaranteed to not be on the phone for right before you go to sleep, and you're guaranteed to not be on the phone the first second you wake up. But he said, don't be on your phone. And the thing that I said is, I'm starting that the second I get home. And I did. Like, so Thursday morning I got up and I didn't take my phone. I didn't check my phone. I didn't even look at my phone. John's alarm went off and I was like, what time is it? And he's like, it's 5 minutes to 6 or whatever time it was. And I was like, all right, fine. And I rolled up, got out of bed, put some clothes on, and I actually went for a walk on Thursday. Well, Friday I looked at my phone, and then the day was gone. Yesterday, it was Saturday. I'm recording this on Sunday, by the way. Saturday, looked at the phone. This morning, looked at the phone. So I'm just like, okay, this is a habit that I'm gonna need to start really working on for myself, because it sounds like it's really good for you. It probably really is good for you. So it's something that I need I personally said I need to put into practice. So that's just what he said. So that was one of the people that were there as a guest speaker. And this is why I love going to these events, because I love learning stuff. One of the other speakers, then there's a few. So one of the other speakers that came to talk, her name is Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she is a longevity scientist. I mean, she has credentials, guys. Like, I've never, believe it or not, even if I'm in this space, I never really heard of her, but I know but when I went and looked her up, I'm like, oh, all my friends follow her. So it's Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she is, like I said, a longevity scientist. She's a scientist, she's a doctor. She has 1.5 million followers. And she's not a wellness influencer, she's a scientist. And she started talking about, and it was crazy because I looked at John, and John was so engrossed in her conversation. I couldn't believe it, because they had new products that we launched, and the reasons why we have these products and all these things. But she talked about the Cosmos study, and the Cosmos study really looked at 4 different areas that we can do something about in ourselves that to help us, right? Like the minimal things. It's not like taking everything away and adding this up or counting macros or doing anything else. But she said, if you want to live longer, there's 4 like key things, little things that you can do. And so really, I mean, I know you guys didn't come to this podcast for a science lecture, but I kind of want to teach you a little bit about what she taught, because I thought it was so important. The first thing she spoke about was vitamin D and the importance of vitamin D. And I always thought vitamin D was just a vitamin, but she said it's not just a vitamin. She describes it as a hormone. She said the sun and food aren't usually enough, and we know this, right? The sun is not enough, and food is not enough to get your vitamin D levels. And she said it's a hormone, and some people can process it a little bit better and create it a little bit better than other people. So we should always be getting our vitamin D levels checked. It keeps us healthier. It keeps us stronger. It's great for bones. It's great for so many things. And so she talked about vitamin D. She talked about omega-3s. And omega-3s are fish oils and omega-3s. So you have 2 that come from fish and 1 can come from plants. So John turned around and he's just like, did you know? And it was so funny. Like, do you know what, like, it helps it's so good for inflammation and your heart and the curve, if your omega-3 levels are, and again, this is a scientist talking, right? So she had talked about like the level, your level, if your omega-3 levels, she compared it to smoking. So if you're a smoker, but your omega-3 levels are low, you're not healthy, right? So if you're a smoker and your omega-3 levels aren't are low, then you're in trouble, right? Your body has more inflammation, more apt to be sick, more things happening to you, right? So it's a real blood measurement. It's not just from fish. And so she says it helps with brain health. It helps with heart health and inflammation. And I've known this for a long time, right? Like, that's why I use it. Inflammation, heart health, brain health, right? We need to keep those things. But then she compared it to, like, if you are a smoker and you take omega-3s and your omega-3 levels are optimal, you are less likely, like, you are more in that higher range of having a healthy heart, healthy brain, healthy heart, all that stuff. And it's just like, oh my gosh, comparing it to, if your omega-3s are low, you're in trouble. If your omega-3s are high, you're okay, whether you smoke or not, right? So those were the things. And then she said magnesium. She said magnesium was the third thing, and magnesium was one of the most underrated minerals in midlife. And it's why so many of us women, when we hit menopause, we become depleted because we're losing all of our hormones, right? Like our estrogen, our progesterone, all the things. And it affects our sleep, our muscle recovery, our mood, and it actually works with your blood pressure too. So it affects your blood pressure too. So you want to make sure your magnesium levels are in a balanced place. Optimal for sure. So easy things to add, guys. Vitamin D, omegas, like fish oil, omega-3s, and magnesium. Add those 3 things into your day and you're definitely on the road to longevity. Like, how easy is that? And then we talked about NAD. Now, NAD is like this big thing that's been going around. Like, people have been talking about it lately, more so lately than I've ever heard. And it literally is a cellular energy. NAD gives our cells our energy, and it's a cellular energy, and NAD drops as we age, just like other hormones. It starts to decrease, and it's why we feel so tired at 55 than being 35. And you can do some things about it. There are some NAD things that are out there. I'm gonna be doing an entire longevity, I'm gonna get into detail of it, but I'm gonna be doing an entire longevity virtual event. I'll put the link in the show notes. I'm doing it on Tuesday, August 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'll put the link below so that you guys, if you are interested and you're like, you know what, I want to know more about this science behind this, the vitamins, NAD, cellular energy, longevity, health, all of that. Click the link below in the show notes and you'll be able to register for that free event. It's free. I'm really going to get in the details of it all that week. So August 18th. So make sure you register for that event. Now, again, I've been in this lane for a long time and I didn't want to turn this into a whole science podcast episode for you guys. I was just trying to say like all the things that I found out in Nashville. But make sure if you want that longevity talk and you're like, LeeAnne, no, give me more details, click the link below and get yourself registered for that class. So, you know, those were 2 of the guest speakers that we had, and the rest were scientists and our marketing team and everybody else that works for the company, and they're all phenomenal and fantastic as well. And John and I are working on an event, like an in-person event here in Manchester in September, mid-September. But because I think longevity is the talk, right? It's what we need. We want to live longer, and healthier. Like, we want to be healthy. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to live till I'm like, because I'm living till I'm 112, and I'm going to do it because I'm going to be healthy doing it. Now, I don't want to live till 112 and be sick. You know what I mean? Like, nobody does that. None of us want that in our lives. We want to be healthy. So how do we do that in longevity? There's so many little secrets that really aren't that big of a deal. They're teeny tiny things that we can add into our days that make a huge difference. Now, what happened, so the conference was amazing. It was so great. I got to, on Monday night, my business partner, Emily, who I have known since 2010. I've known her since she was this little girl on a mattress sleeping at a friend's house, and now she's a mom, and she has a great husband, and she's living in California, and she has this beautiful life. And it's so amazing to watch the business and that she has grown, and watch her who she has become over the years. And I love her to pieces. So she had this great event, a great dinner just for directors on her team, so leaders on her team. And we got to bring our spouses if they came with us or whatever. And it was at this beautiful Mediterranean restaurant that have you guys ever been to like a Mediterranean restaurant? They always seem to have trees inside the restaurant, like real trees, like live trees, like big ones. I'm not talking like little, I'm talking bigger trees than I have here in the loft, like these massive trees inside Mediterranean restaurants. But we had this beautiful dinner, and she gave us a few little gifts and books, and it was so great. And her and I, when John was done listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick talk, and then he listened to one of our scientists, Dr. Erin Barrett talk, he came home and he says, oh my gosh, all of our friends need to know this. Like, they need to know everything that we learned here. They need to know all this science. They need to know that there's little things that they can do in their lives that can completely change their lives, their health, the trajectory of their aging, that protects their cells and helps their microbiome in their, with their digestion and their brain health and their heart health. And he just got so excited. He goes, LeeAnne, we need to tell friends we're going to put on an event. We're going to put on our event. And so I was talking to Emily about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen John so excited about health stuff before, ever, like this. And she's like, yeah, she goes, I think that'll be amazing. And so she's working with me on seeing if I can get one of those scientists to come to my event here in New Hampshire. And so which was actually great. And then, which is fantastic, right? I'm so excited about that. But then the last night, so Tuesday night was the last night, and they had this, they usually have this big thing, everybody gets dressed up. Last year we were all in gowns. This year it was like country cocktail style. And, you watched all these people walking across the stage with all of their awards and the things that they have accomplished over this past year. And I had walked the stage last year with this company. This year I didn't walk the stage because I hadn't accomplished anything new, right? It's all like, these are all the new people and the new things that are going on and what they've done. And so, I was like, it's okay. It's truly okay. Because I have been in a different season this past year, as you guys know, right? It's like I've been taking care of my aunt. Now in the last couple of months, I've been puppy sitting. I have a new granddaughter that once in a while I have. And, my life had just taken a little different of a direction. And so I was like, oh no, I like being on stage. I do. So I'm like, nope, next year that's not happening again. So I've got some work to do and some things to accomplish to make sure that I'm up on that stage with everybody else too, celebrating, right? That's what we should all celebrate. We're celebrating life and we're celebrating our achievements. And, going with John was different for me because typically I go to these things with my other business partners or even some of my friends, we've always done like, walking, going to an event where Tony Robbins event where you're walking on the fire, you walk on fire, things like that. So I've always done these things with friends, and I've never really done this with John. So going with John was really different, because I loved seeing it through his eyes for the first time, because it really resonated with him. And I think too, because he's 67 years old and he's thinking, his brain's thinking, how much longer do I have? And we have these grandchildren, and I still have things in life I want to accomplish, and I still have things in life that I want to do. Watching him say, I need to get healthier, get me these vitamins. First off, he's like, I need all that stuff. We need to get me, I need to make sure, I want to check all my levels. We need to make sure my vitamin D is good, my omegas are good, this, that, and the other thing. And he's just like, I want it all. I want to start taking care of myself a lot better than I have. And that was a great thing for me to see. And it really is, longevity really is the word now. And it's important. You can get information from, there's so many people out there. There's so many influencers out there. Now, I don't think of myself as an influencer. I think of myself as what I am. Like I said, certified holistic nutritionist, certified health coach, certified in holistic health, like all those things. And I want to start to learn even more and bring more of what I know personally and more of what I'm finding out in the world to you guys here on the podcast, because I think it's important, right? Longevity isn't just health. It's our financial future. It's our marriage. It's our, it is our bodies. It's how we function every single day. And so I think this is talks like this and things that I'm learning, like leaving your phone down during meal times, like don't have your phone at meal times, things like that. Like, it's so important. And this is why the podcast has changed a little, because I want to bring more of this stuff to you guys, because I really, really hope that it helps every single one of you to listen to this and to learn something new. And so, speaking of learning something new, like I said before, the link to it's called BioAge, a longevity event. It's going to be about 30 minutes long. It's for men and women. It's for women and men. It's for everyone. I am going to get into detail on everything that I learned and some other things too. Maybe even some products that may help that you can go look for. And the link is below. Click it, get yourself registered. I hope to see you Tuesday, August 18th. And that's really, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you learned something in this, okay? So go leave your phones, go for a walk in the morning, have meals with friends and people. If you don't have somebody to have a meal with, maybe we start doing a virtual meal. I don't know. But make sure you're taking care of yourself, be healthy, and I love you all so very much. Thank you for tuning in this week, and I will see you next week as usual. Bye-bye.